Hello, my name is Justin Scott with a Lowell Ledger podcast here, and I am with Lowell's lone hockey player, Harmon Esch, who competed on the Caledonia Hockey team in cooperation with Lowell and Middleville Thornapple Kellogg this past season. Harmon, welcome on.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me.
So tell me, how'd the season go this year?
We did all right. Big improvement from last year. We went 12-12, so the perfect 500. So a coach's stat dream there is, we went 7, I believe, 18 last year. So improvement on that front. A few more wins, a few less losses. Just improvement. I think we're headed in the right direction. It was a fun season.
So tell me, you're the lone Lowell guy. What's that like, being on a team with guys from a totally different school? I mean, I know you've played with a lot of those guys for years, and you're probably used to them. But what's that like?
Yeah, hockey is a sport where teams change a lot every year, especially if you're changing programs to tryout systems. So you're just playing for the teams that want you. And for me, it's no different. It's not exactly the stereotypical high school experience. You're left out of the school lore occasionally, but there's 2 TK kids on the team too, and so they're a little bit alone, and I don't feel outside anything. The boys make me feel like I'm part of the team, and it's other than the lack of fans from Lowell showing up, it's still the quintessential high school experience.
Yeah, no, that's awesome that you're feeling welcome and everything like that. What position do you play, and how do you feel you personally did this year?
So I'm a sophomore. I'm a forward, mostly on the wing. Occasionally I'll be thrown at center. I like to be as versatile as possible. Just I like to play, so wherever I'll get to play the most, I'll happily take that role. I had a very solid season. As I said, I'm a sophomore, and I had the honor of making an honorable mention for all conference. Which was super cool for me. Second year on the team, second year with pretty much most of these guys, brand new team, new coach, so he's brought me up. So that's awesome. I felt like I had a really good season, starting to gain a little bit more confidence. You are playing against 18-year-olds in high school, and as a sophomore, you're 15, 16, so you're learning to play with men. It's a different speed, and as I adapt, I think I'm doing better, and I'm hoping to do even better next year.
And obviously it's a very physical sport, maybe the most physical sport that's out there.
Yeah, the speed along with the allowed body contact. Personally, it's why I love the sport. It's fast. You gotta make quick decisions, but I wouldn't be lying. It's a little bit of anger management too, because everybody on the outside will look like you can just run into and do whatever you want. But there's a lot of technique, and you got to make sure you're not taking penalties, because that'll hurt your team. And it's chess at high speed, so it's a lot of fun.
What would you say was the most exciting game that you guys were a part of this season?
Weirdly, it'll be a loss, but it was both games against Forest Hill Central. Real big rivalry for all schools. Lowell, TK, and Cal, all not huge fans of the guys over there at Forest Hill Central. And we had a close loss to them both times. We had a 2-0 loss in the regular season. One of those was an empty netter, and we hung with them. We had the same amount of scoring chances. We never felt out of it. I think that was one of the team's best games. We all were working really hard. It was it was a lot of fun, good effort. And then actually the game that ended our season was probably one of the most fun games for me. We were coming off a good win against Jenison to move us into the regional semifinal against Forest Hill Central again, and we had already played them. We knew what they were going to do, and we kept it tight. We scored one this time. It was 1-1, and it ended up going to overtime. And then about 4 or 5 minutes into overtime, we unfortunately a bad bounce, and they finish it. But just another really good effort from the team, and those were the most fun and memorable for me.
You guys finished third in the conference this year, had a Kennewick Hills, Granite Haven, East Kentwood, and behind Reese Puffert and Sparta. Tell me about kind of that conference competition, because I know the OK Conference had a state champion this year in Byron Center.
Correct. Yeah, it's a 3-tier system in the OK Conference. We're in the, I believe, Fisher division, which is unfortunately the lowest of the third. We're trying to rebuild ourselves. There was a few tough years in the 2010s for the Lowell Caledonia, as it was known back then, program. And I think we're on the upswing. Our goal is to get promoted. That'll be our goal. We want to get moved up into the Baum division, I believe is what it's called. But yeah, we played Sparta loads of times. I think we just didn't quite have it this year. We're close. We're on the cusp. I think we'll have a very good season next year. Yeah, Reese Puffer. Obviously, they made the state playoffs. They were dark horses. They weren't supposed to do that, but we know they're a good team. They scored a lot on us. They have a really good forward group. Yeah, for what would be considered like the third tier of West Michigan high school hockey, it's still very competitive, still very fast. Sparta had one of the top scorers in the nation, in the state, sorry. And yeah, Reese Puffer made it far. Sparta also made it to their regional final against Reese Puffer, and yeah, it's a strong conference. Unfortunately, that we finished a little bit lower than we wanted, but it's good competition.
Well, you were saying like you guys were competitive, and you can see it in the goal differential. Like your goal differential is 52, and I mean Reese Puffer is right there. I think they're looks like they're 64. Sparta's a little bit above them, so I mean you guys are kind of right in with those guys as far as goal differential. Just they got some of the close wins that you guys might not have gotten in conference. So take me through maybe a couple of your teammates that you want to highlight.
Well, first I gotta thank pretty much most of the seniors. We had a captain, Braden Kramer. He was a great leader, big, very talkative guy, just always super positive. If you had a problem, you go talk to him. So I loved Kramer. Another captain on our team, good friend of mine, Emerson. We call him Emo for his first name, and he's great. He's just a hardworking kid. He's as a senior, you'd love to play as much as possible, but he would bounce around the lineup. Coach was just trying to find him a perfect spot, and he's accepted his role. He kept playing hard, and I admired that. And then I'm really good friends with Caleb Summerhays, ironically the son of our protections officer here.
Todd, yeah.
Yeah, me and him were the lone TK and Lowell kid at my freshman year, and it was his sophomore year, so we got along really well as we kind of bonded through that, and I think we're really good friends, and yeah, that was a lot of fun to see him improve a lot this year as well. Love pretty much all the guys on that team, but I'd have to highlight those three as the better friends on that team for me.
So I noticed, like, as far as radio comfortability, you're totally like you're natural, and that's probably because you're doing some baseball broadcasting in the spring, and you worked with Al in the sports casting crew. Take me through that a little bit.
Oh, that's an awesome opportunity for us to have here. I've commentated myself since I was like 4. When you're shooting a puck around or you're shooting a ball around, I would commentate my own games, and just I've always loved commentating. I thought it was super fun. I won't watch a game without sound. I think it's way more entertaining to have somebody's voice, somebody's opinion just loud in your ear. It helps you learn the game too. If you hear somebody talking about it, you'll learn something occasionally, especially if it's a sport I'm not familiar with. So to be able to share that with other people, plus it's really fun for me. I mean, I get to talk about a sport and watch the sport with the best view in the house, and I get to talk to a bunch of people about it.
Now, why is baseball kind of the one that you're focused on in the spring?
It's mostly the one that I know the most rules of.
Okay.
So I feel the most comfortable sharing my opinion about that one. I was on deck for football this year. I did most of the behind the scenes for the video. I did the scoreboard and stuff on that. But I'd love to do some football next year. I think Kyle Stauffer might actually be on the varsity football team, so they'll have an open slot, so you might hear me there. But I also love just all the behind the scene too, like scoreboards, and it's just it's fun production for me.
And I was telling Al, like, when I do my Lowell Ledger articles, I'm always rewatching your guys' stuff. And to have the scoreboard, because you're always wondering, oh, what's the score if I jump to 45 minutes in or something when I'm trying to find like a highlight or something. It's so helpful. It's such an incredible asset to the community to be able to not only have like the scoreboard, but the announcing and the video and everything behind that is just so. I told Al it's just incredible. So good work on that. So I pulled up some stats here. You were 3rd on the team in goals this year, 5th on the team in assists, it looks like, and then as well 4th in points. So for a sophomore, that's some pretty good output. What are you hoping to work on, over the summer this year? Like, what's the plan? Are you playing club or?
The team Caledonia has their own spring program. They have
Okay.
their own summer program. That's pretty light on the games. That's more fun. A lot more people come out to play, even the kids who can't who try out and didn't make the team. It'll be pretty much everybody at Caledonia who plays hockey. So you get to meet a bunch of new kids who play the sport that you love, and that's a lot of fun. But they have the split season structure for West Michigan, where because of the high school season, you can try out for a team that'll play in the fall, and then it'll play in the spring again. So it stops and lets you go play high school. So that's another great opportunity. There's a lot of prospect leagues, especially in Michigan. It's a good hockey state. You have the MDHL. There's loads of junior leagues. So I just plan to keep playing hockey and try out for teams and do some camps and just stay on the ice, because it's a weird sport with the ice, and it's obviously pretty hard to find good ice in summer, so I'll try to get on the ice as much as I can.
Yeah, during the season, what's the travel like? Because we were blessed with a winter that was, not very icy, not a lot of craziness. There were a few days that there certainly was, but what's the travel like? Are you guys practicing at Kentwood Ice Arena, or?
Yeah, it's a 3-day per week practice schedule. It's unfortunately a little lighter than some of the other teams in the area, because we obviously don't have one on campus for any of the 3 schools. But it's still, we get a good amount of time. It's between an hour and a half on those days. It was Monday, Tuesday, Thursday this year. And it's pretty much right after school, so you'd go home and maybe grab a bite to eat, and you'd go out to Kentwood. And they've got a good facility there. They've been very welcoming for a school that's not East Kentwood, and they have the rink on campus. They have the luxury of doing that, and they are nice enough to share that with us. So it's not a lot of travel, thankfully, because of West Michigan having a lot of hockey teams. Even the games are relatively close. You're not going much further than, I'd say, an hour and a half, 2 hours away at the most, other than, for a tournament maybe on the east side. Yeah, it's pretty light, and it's high school, so obviously you get most of the weekend off. You're pretty much guaranteed to have Sunday off. So it's a nice balance between school life and still, doing the sport that you love.
Take me through one of the tournaments that was kind of like your Christmas break tournament. You guys played in Chelsea.
Yeah, that was the Chelsea Showcase. So that's a scouting tournament. You only play 2 games. It's pretty low. There's not really a leaderboard or anything, but it's just to get all the best teams in the state all in one spot. So you can have scouts from junior leagues and even in Canada, junior leagues come in and watch some players that are on their radar. So that's a super cool opportunity for us, especially, coach is going to try to play everybody, get everybody their moment in the limelight there. And yeah, it was a super fun tournament. We came out with 2 wins too, so it was a great confidence booster playing 2 East Side teams. I believe it was Dexter and Utica Eisenhower.
Yep,
that's
right.
Yeah, we did very well. We came out there 2-0, and it was a lot of fun. So yeah.
All right, before we wrap up, anything else you kind of want to talk about maybe we didn't touch on this season?
I just want to say thanks. I say it's pretty awesome to play for a team that, I'm the only little kid, but they're still welcoming. They're still awesome guys to play with. I'm hoping to have some little teammates next year. Maybe we got some 8th graders coming up. I'm unaware of the roster, but yeah, if anybody listening plays hockey and they're in Lowell, don't be afraid. We're always welcome to have new kids to come try out, and I'd love some teammates at school. It's a super fun team, and we're on the up. We're looking to go much further next year.
Now you're keeping the tradition on, a quarter century of having little kids play hockey. So, keep up the good work, and we'll hear you on the radio broadcast soon.
Yeah, thank you very much.